For your enjoyment, I will be reading the first 7 chapters of my new upcoming book, which will come out on Valentine's Day. It's called Life is Looking Up, Regaining Hope with Mental Illness. So if you want to find an uplifting, in the end, story of mental illness, a memoir, here's one. Chapter 1. Oni and Silas, 1985. There are cats on the slab porch. My finger is poking into melting wax of a crayon. It feels squishy and warm. I can mold it into houses. Mom makes sure it's not too hot. I know the colors. Red, blue, orange. I love orange and yellow like the sun. The sun is melting the crayons like magic. I am magic, I say. I love my stuffed Bambi. I take care of him. I will tell him a story. Daddy is farming tobacco today with Silas. We go to their house for breakfast before they get to work. Oni is like a grandmother. She makes biscuits and gravy with all the fixings, and her family and mine eat it together. I watch Silas eat a tomato biscuit, and I try one. It is good. Then I run out to the swing. I love in their side yard. Silas is out feeding the cats, but he comes over to me and he offers me chewing tobacco, quote unquote. Him and Daddy laugh because it's really a pouch of raisins. He tells me he is going hunting for Bambi. Later, I get mad, but I know he's teasing, so I just laugh. Oni is doing dishes back in their house. There is a certain smell out inside. It's different from our house, but I kind of like it. Oni has a whole box of toys I get to play with from her own children. I go into the room and there are deer heads with antlers mounted on the wall. I swallow hard the first time I'm alone in there. I run back outside to swing again. Joey and Anna are swimming in the deep hole, catching minnows. I didn't get to go this time. It's across the road, and I need someone to hold my hand. I lean my head back and look out at those heart-shaped leaves where I swing, of the tree I swing from. I start singing a little song I will finish later, I know. Mom holds my hand and takes me back to the house. Mom tells me Anna and Joey get dry clothes on and they catch the bus for school. I'm not even sure what school is, but I will ask Mom, and she says, let's go outside. Sometimes I go into the cars parked on the side of our creek when I want to be more warm. Someone is always making sure I'm okay. This time, we walk past the cars and take a path up the big wooded hill behind our house. I never was able to walk in before, but this time I start leading the way. I'm pulling Mom's arm up a giant mountain. We climb longer and longer than I've ever done anything in my whole life. We hike and hike around big trees. I am amazed that everything keeps going and going, on and on, onward. We are going to the beautiful place, I tell Mom. She thinks everything outside is beautiful, and we keep seeing things that strike us with awe. A red bird is flying with us higher and higher. It is gone, but we are here. We made it to the top. There is a view that is wild and like a picture. I am seeing a little house rolling hills all around. There are not many leaves this season. Mom says it's the best time of year to see for miles and miles. Chapter 2. I'm super baby. I just turned 5. I go to school now, but I'm magic. I swing in the playground. School is good. We have tables with shapes, round and square and triangle. I sit at the round table with Josh. I really like Josh. His mom takes me home sometimes and I play with him and his sister. Josh eats hot dogs cold for lunch and he gets a thermos of soup with little round noodles. Then he eats a delicious-looking thing he calls a wafer. He offers me one, but Mom says I can't eat sugar. She works in the school sometimes as a substitute teacher. The best place is the playground. We all agree. I love to swing and swing. I swing and dream about being Super Baby. Mr. McDaniels is a police officer, and I join his squad. I help them protect people because I am powerful. I have magical abilities. I can fly when I swing. I walk home sometimes. Mom helps me climb a maple tree. I am so strong. I can go so high. The lady pokes her head out and is nice. We have to go home though. Anna plays with me. We love the new playhouse. We throw a bucket out the window with Barbie in it. Barbie only comes when we need a villain. Anna says that's a bad guy. Anna holds a small horse. He's the hero. The children are always heroes, but they get into trouble first. Sometimes they get hurt and we have to go over to Rainbow Land for juice to heal them. When they play with horses, I am the mountain. When we play with animals, stuffed animals, I am the mountain again. I like playing real life and the most, but Anna doesn't like it as much with me. We play real life and I am the princess. Anna is all the other characters. I like it when she does the whipping boy. She seems nice. He seems nice and I want to know him better. The queen banishes him to the farmyard. I go looking for him. The queen orders me to my room. I climb out the window, but now Anna is ready to read her book. This is not fair. No one ever plays with me enough. Joey is reading too. That is all the family ever does. I can't swing now. It's raining. I curl up on the sofa in Daddy's lap. He's been working hard. I hug him and he starts snoring. I giggle. I think I fell asleep. Prism light is dancing on the wall. I think I will wake Daddy up and talk. I love talking with Daddy. I can go play outside after all, since it stopped raining. I let him sleep a bit longer. Something is smelling good that Mom is making. Chapter 3. Lamondre tells me in our 4th grade class, his dog had puppies. Halloween has just come, and we exchange information for candy. I'm not supposed to eat sugar anyway, so I'm happy to give him the bag and tell him it's all about, and he tells me all about his cute little puppy. Please, can I have one? I'm begging Mom and Daddy for weeks. Mom says okay, and now Daddy has to agree with it. I tell them I will walk him every time and feed him and give him water. Now we're at Lamondre's house. His mom is named Lulu, and there is an adorable little dog. His mom looks at the dog like the dog in the Taco Bell commercial, and my puppy is almost as big as his mom already. Now he's in the backyard and he's tied up by the house. He's barking and barking. I go down to the yard and curl up in the doghouse with him. He stops barking. He's licking my hand. My family laughs when I finally make it back inside. She was in the doghouse, says Mom, who walked down to find me, saw me curled inside. Chapter 4. G and I stretch out our long legs next to one another. Our game is playful admiration. G says her knees are knobby. If I had knees like mine, if she had knees like mine, she says. But you are much better runner, function over form, I reassure her. We aren't kids anymore. In middle school, G tied my shoelaces together. We still like to do foolish things, but they are getting more tricky. Enough with sneaking out of the house at night. We should sneak out from school, we decide. It is morning and we have our backpacks propped on the lockers, and where we sit in the hallway with our friends. For a while we work out the kinks of the plan of our breakout. For the sheer 3-minute run along the side of Viking Hall, we feel some real exhilaration, terror we have never known before. There is a kind of freedom that's delicious to us, but it's braided with trepidation. A vehicle is pulling alongside us, much slower than the other traffic. "Put on your hood," screams G. But I am not quick enough, and we already have been spotted by the high school disciplinarian. He pulls up to the curve in a pickup truck, and all the crazy kid ideas he tells us to hop in the back. If we could do something to turn invisible, we would, but reluctantly we roll into his truck and grab on tight because it is a little risky to ride back here. He drives us slowly back to the front of the building. He gives us enough time to coordinate stories. We are in the office of Mr. Mead. He has to exit the office, though. Someone else needs him to do something. "He's going to let us off the hook," says G. "Just keep mentioning that you're his neighbor," she laughs. I'm also surprisingly jovial. I'm not worried about my career. I have straight A's, and he can't change that. In a spurt of humor, I set his clock to 2:30. G is cracking up when he returns to his office. We each get a day of in-school suspension. Chapter 5, Earlham College, 2000. The auditorium is full of people. College orientation party. The woman on the stage is the admissions counselor who worked with me. Her daughter happens to be my roommate. She introduces a hypnotist. But first, in the long-held Earlham tradition, we must watch an instructional video about fire preparedness from the 1970s. A lot of students think it's funny and it's okay to laugh. Something is wrong. Then all I know is what is. It's like I'm swimming deep in water. On the screen, the video plays and students laugh loudly. Everything is starting to smell strongly. Doesn't anyone notice that? I ask someone, but no one hears. Maybe it's a social experiment. Maybe they are setting a fire and we'll all burn. The film ends. The applause is louder. A woman gets back on stage and introduces a hypnotist to the stage. Am I hypnotized? Outside, I find a place to walk over the pipes. The trees smell strongly. I've never noticed how they smell before. It's a horrible scent. A squirrel is staring at me, and I don't know why. I stand for a long time staring back at him. A caterpillar is gigantic. It looks like something from Alice in Wonderland. I get inside. People are worried about you, speaks my roommate. I lie down and pretend to sleep. I wake up. I'm not sure what's happened. I hear beeps of a machine and hushed voices outside. I know I was here a long time, nights and days. But it is like I wasn't awake the whole time, even when I was standing and eating. A nurse comes in to my room with a cup of pills and water. I don't know what is going on, but she says the pills will make me better, and I take the pills. Chapter 6, Costa Rica. I have felt happier for longer than I had noticed. Anna says just keep doing what makes you happy. She gave me this opportunity to sojourn as rainbow pilgrim in the rainforests of Costa Rica, and she's extended the amount of time I get to be here, so I'm overlooking the fact that she's graphing my mood, along with the temperature and the barometric pressure. And oh, I was joking about Rainforest Pilgrim. It's just something I call myself since I read that book, Peace Pilgrim, about the woman who walked all the way across America with only the clothes on her back. I love climbing these mountains and getting to the top and looking at a brand new view, or even one I've already seen. I get back to where Anna is drawing a flower, and I gave her on the side of the trail. She's sitting there cross-legged finishing her art, and I tell her about the pigs I saw on the hike I took. Those were wild boars. Oh my goodness, did they run at you? No, they ran into the nearby bush. I hadn't known they were dangerous, or that wild boars even exist in Costa Rica. In the library, Lucky is working on a project what the other librarians have been doing. I come in and ask what books need reshelved. I'm reading a book about Lucky herself, a family album of Monteverde settlers who moved here from Alabama. Lucky is so interesting to me. All she says to me makes me just want to drink it up and listen more and more. She always asks what animals we spotted in our hikes. My favorite right now is the blue-crowned motmot. I mentioned the common bird. You saw wild boars, Anna pipes up in a rare way from her upstairs study nook where she is voraciously reading the biggest book known to man. Lucky's eyes look big. A couple of volunteers laugh. Chapter 7, 2001. I fill a whole journal, then it's gone. I ask the tech, where is my journal? I ask the psych nurse, where is my journal? I asked Dr. Peterson, where is my journal? If they needed to take it away, that was their medical order. But you're the doctor. Can't you get it back? The answer is no. I'm back in my room. The night was long and dark. I managed to see light peering through my blinds. The tech wants me back in bed, but I needed to see the light. It was my first piece. We'll have to sedate you. I hear their threat. Then I go lie back down, but I left the blinds apart. Now I can see the light. It comes slow over the scenery. There is a clock on the wall. Now I can see too. I make a note of each change. 5 a.m. The cloud-shaped piece of light is seen behind the tree line. I'm actually not positive it was like that before 5. But 5:30, I'm sure it grows a tiny bit. I hear the nurse in the hall and close my eyes. They shine a flashlight right into my face every 2 or 3 hours. What do they think they're helping? I'm pretending to be asleep. I think they suspect I'm playing possum, but I try to breathe more deep. 5:45, the sky is no longer black and white. Pink streaks. 6 o'clock. A yellow-orange beauty. Now I'm finally allowed to go get some breakfast. My stomach was hungry. I walk down to the station where they put out the food. I grab a slushy-seeming orange juice in a plastic container with an aluminum lid. Inside, the ice seems like the light outside. I take it like my medicine. So that is the first 7 chapters of my book that comes out in February, and February 14th. It's called Life is Looking Up, Regaining Hope with Mental Illness. If you're interested in what happened to make the life look up, just pre-order it, because you can pre-order it or stay tuned. Thanks.